Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mila, you're at my book nook, and today I have my quarter two hopefuls, or quarter two TBR, however you want to spin it. So for those that don't know, I don't really do well with predetermined lists when I'm like reading for pleasure, but I do like because like monthly ones, right? Because I feel like a month isn't enough time to truly get through, the books I'm feeling I want to get through, and I'm a mood reader through and through. Like there's only certain times where I will be able to actually fulfill a TBR, but I don't call it a TBR because then my brain starts jumping through hoops and I'm like, I don't want to read this because it's on a TBR and I kind of have to read it. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's a way to trick my brain. Okay, it's a way to trick my brain. So instead, I've started doing, just like I started doing quarterly wrap-ups, I've started doing quarterly TBRs. It's a totally, it's not a new thing in the sense that I used to do them, like I did them last year over on Instagram mainly, and I talked about them in my quarterly wrap-ups, but it's this year that I'm doing a separate TBR video because that is more content that I can film, and sometimes it's really difficult to come up with content. So yeah, I've got quite a few books to go through. It's not 24 in the previous quarter, and yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 27 books, which isn't bad considering April, May, and June are relatively long-ish months, they're all in the 30s, So yeah, and I'm very excited to read all of these. And also like 5 of these are manga. They're all manga. Or manhwa. We'll get to it when I get to it. Yeah, so I started doing quarterly wrap-ups. I started this last year, and then I transformed it into like a video version, but I haven't really done a specific like TBR video. I don't really do those. So I wanted to sort of jump on the bandwagon by add my own sort of twist to it, because this is how my brain works. So without further ado, welcome to the 2026 quarter two hopefuls. And quarter two, for those that are unaware, is April, May, and June. And we are the 3rd of April at the moment. I got a new watch. So let's get to it. A good chunk of these are book club picks. So if you are unaware, I run the Museum Society Book Club, and I have 12 fiction books. Most are new releases, or all of them are new releases, I think. 12 classics, and I also have 12 nonfiction picks, and then a myriad of other things. So let's get to it. Starting with the book club picks, because I feel like that makes sense. We've got Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. I love this cover, and anything set in Florence. I believe this is set in Florence. I love this cover. It's so giving Florence during the Renaissance. It's so good. It's so good. I love this cover. I'm obsessed with this cover. I don't really remember what this is about. I just saw the cover. I saw the art style. I saw bits and pieces of the synopsis, and I put it on the list. And then for the classic, because we're reading a fiction and a classic every month, we have The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. At least it's not Count of Monte Cristo during February, which is what I did last year. Then we have Daughter of Crows by Mark Lawrence, and I'm actually reading that at the moment. So by the time that this video comes up, I think I might be finished Daughter of Crows. We'll see about that. So this is the May pick. So Graceless Heart and Brothers Karamazov are the April pick. Daughter of Crows and The Three Musketeers is the May pick. And the reason why I don't have the June pick, which is The Last Contract of Isako, is because I've already read it, actually. And if you want to hear about all the other books that I read, check out my quarterly one wrap-up. And then we have Anna Karenina as our classic for June. For the nonfiction, so the way that the nonfiction works is I have 2 nonfictions plus a bonus nonfiction. So if either one of the nonfictions isn't working, or you want to read more, you want more of a list, predetermined list, then you have an extra book to look forward to every quarter. So that roughly equates to 1 book a month. And for the second quarter, we have The Persians by Lloyd Wallen Jones. We have Helen of Troy by Bethany Hughes, and our bonus book is The Silk Road by Valerie Hansen. This is not the one by Peter Frankopan. This is another Silk Road book. Next, I have 2 books that are not in English. One is originally in French and the other is translated into Russian. And you might be thinking, why are you doing this to yourself? I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, because I'm me. You know, it'd be like that. So we first have Le Comte de Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. And one of my goals this year is to read just the first tome, just the first volume of Le Comte de Monte Cristo in French. So there's that. And then we also have Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, specifically by J.R.R. Tolkien in Russian, in the Exclusivная Classica format. I believe it's Muravyov and someone else translation. I like this cover style of like the Exclusivная Classica. Think like Penguin Classics, but like the Russian version, right? So I like this sort of style. It's very eye-catching and it's also very memorable and very recognizable, especially. And once I get to the other 2 books, it'll all come together and be very, very cohesive. So for Fellowship, I want to actually read just book 1. If you don't know what I'm talking about, because you're like, book 1, that is book 1. Basically, Tolkien wanted to actually have 6 volumes, right? So, technically the book was supposed to be in like one long book, but publisher constraints and all that stuff. So each book is split into 2 separate books. So book 1 is book 1 and 2. Book 2 is book 3 and 4, and book 3 is book 5 and 6. So I want to read book 1, which is up until Frodo passes out from his wound at Weathertop and wakes up in 2, he wakes up in the House of Elrond. And you have that scene between, Gandalf and Frodo being like, you are in the House of Elrond. It is October 10th. It is October 21st at 10 o'clock in the morning, if you are so inclined to ask, or something like that. You know what I mean. So I want to read up to that, which is about like give or take 200, 300 pages, which 200 something pages, I think, closer to 300, which isn't terrible. But it's a hurdle. It is a mountain for me because I don't read in Russian. I barely read in Russian. And this is my way of trying to get back into it. Next we have Anne of Green Gables. I have a Read the Continents TBR challenge that I'm doing this year, and one of the books for North America is Anne of Green Gables because Ella Montgomery was Canadian. Anne of Green Gables is set in a, I guess, fictionalized, you can say, PI, so Prince Edward Island. I am Canadian, and I feel like a fake one since I haven't read Anne of Green Gables. And it's sort of getting its, I guess, resurgence, or maybe it's just the corner of the internet that I'm in, because Plant-Based Elizabeth from Plant-Based Bride read the books, and then Katie from Katie's Reading is also reading the books, and I'm just like, I want to jump on the bandwagon. And I got this really cute cover, and I got it for like $7, and it was such a good deal. So, this is it's over there. I'm not gonna grab it, but so Anne of Green Gables, and I love these covers, and I think they're just so adorable. Wow, this lighting, guys, I'm so sorry. Next, we have Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility. So last year, I read Pride and Prejudice for the very first time. And then later on, I think earlier this year, we kind of got sick with something, and we proceeded to watch the BBC 1997 adaptation, which was fantastic. Perfection. I don't care what anyone else says. Perfection. And then we watched the adaptation of Sense and Sensibility with Alan Rickman, with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet, and just like a bunch of other people, which was fantastic. And I really liked the story, and I thought it was very charming. It was very sweet. And I got myself a really cool edition of Sense and Sensibility. So try saying that five times fast. I just like the way that she names her books, Sense and Sensibility. Like it's so satisfying. Scratches an itch in my brain. So that is Jane Austen's Sense and Sensibility, and I really want to read it. Obviously, I know there's going to be some differences between like the book and the movie, but the fact that it, like, Emma Thompson, I think, took a long time to actually like develop the script and stuff, because she was like the producer, director, or whatever, and she plays Eleanor Dashwood, who is the oldest. Yeah, Very, very nice. And then we have a slightly different pivot. This is older fantasy. It is Rusalka as well as Chernyvok by C.J. Cherryh. This is a trilogy. I haven't added the third book into this because I want to see how I do with the first book, actually. But the reason why I have the second book on here is because I actually own the second book. So my boyfriend and I, we had like a bookstore day, and we went to the secondhand bookstore and I found the second book. So I found Chernyvok, pristine condition. I love the cover. It's like this small, tiny paperback, mass market paperback. And I think it's like $7 or something like $7 on there, which is crazy. Can you imagine paying $7 for like a book? That's crazy. Nowadays, that's used books prices, $7. So I got Chernyvok, but unfortunately they didn't have Rusalka. So I'm just gonna find a copy somewhere online somehow, probably, hopefully through Libby. I think that's a very rare chance that it'll be through Libby, but maybe I'll find it on eBay or something like that. So yeah, so I want to read Rusalka and Chernyvok. This is like a trilogy about like old Russia and fairy tales. Rusalka is the Slavic version of a mermaid, of a siren, so to speak. This is set in like ancient Russia, like old Russia and stuff. And I believe it's like Kievan Rus, if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. So yeah, next we have a nonfiction. Totally separate from the nonfiction list of the Museum Society Book Club. We have Homer and His Iliad by Robin Lane Fox. This is a book I found secondhand. It was like $4, I think, which is crazy because I don't think I would have found it anywhere else, to be honest, except a secondhand bookstore, unless I wanted to go using Amazon or something like that. And it's like this tiny paperback. It's a little beat up, hence why it was so cheap. But yeah, I'm very excited. I don't fully know what exactly this entails, like what the thesis of it is and everything, but very excited to see what it talks about. Next, we have a bunch of manga, which if my brother watches my videos, he will be very happy to hear. Why is it so bright? Hopefully that's not too bright now. So we have Spy Family Volume 5. We have Frieren Volume 2, Vinland Saga Volume 1, Witch Hat Atelier Volume 2, and Solo Leveling Volume 1. So 4 mangas and 1 manhwa, because Solo Leveling is Korean and not Japanese. Important distinction there. I've heard fantastic things about Vinland Saga. Obviously, I've started the others. I'm more through Spy Family. I'm just like rationing it, because I feel like if I just like get all the volumes, I will finish it in like 3 days, So, because these really read really fast, really fast. So yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have any Amulet volumes to read anymore, so which is sad, but yeah. And then we have This Kingdom Will Not Kill Me by Ilona Andrews. The reason why this appears on both this hopefuls list as well as the quarter one is because it was actually released on the 31st of March. So realistically, unless I had gotten an ARC, which I did not, I couldn't read this in quarter one, hence why it's one of like the only books that have transferred over, so to speak. And if I continue like transferring all the books that I didn't read in the previous quarter, we're gonna have a very long list, and it's gonna be very intimidating. 27 books is nothing, over a span of 3 months. So next we have To Shape a Dragon's Breath, again with the Read the Contents TBR. I wanted to focus, especially for North America and South America and places that have indigenous people that are prominent in, the histories and everything, if that makes sense. I want to focus on like the indigenous people of the land, and To Shape a Dragon's Breath is by an indigenous author. Next we have Catherine Arden's The Unicorn Hunters, and I actually have an ARC of this. I have an e-ARC of it. I'm so excited. Then we have Weaving Shaw, which, wow, it took a really long time for it to come in from the library on Libby, which is insane. But I will be reading that, and I'm very excited about it because I love supporting women and women of color in their, gothic romance fantasy books, Next we have Upgrade by Blake Crouch. I've been wanting to get into Blake Crouch because I've heard nothing but good things, but it is just, sci-fi is so intimidating to me. Although I love Project Hail Mary, but that's like my extent. It's like the start and finish line of my sci-fi journey. So I want to get into sci-fi, but it's very, very intimidating. Next, we have something that is totally out of my comfort zone, I think, if you think about it, and it is The Wager, A Tale of Shipwreck, Mutiny, and Murder by David Gran. And this is an interesting one because I believe it's like one of those fictionalized versions of like a true story, which I love reading. It's like a historical fiction, right? But like, I've heard nothing but good things. I've heard really good things. And I've sort of fallen out of historical fiction a little bit because of just the amount of World War II novels. And I genuinely got tired of it. I got tired of seeing every other historical fiction novel be World War II, which is why I push so hard for like non-World War II novels or non-World War or World War II novels that are outside of the point of view of like Europe or America or North America, specifically the US or Canada or, you know, Western Europe, right? So it's like, I don't really know what this is about. Maybe pirates, maybe not. I don't know. I love a good pirate. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. So yeah. And then lastly, we have A Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin. I don't really know what this is about. This is pitched as like magic school, I guess, so to speak, in reference to books that you should read instead of that one magic school book series. I'm going to be honest. I grew up reading the series. I love the series. It will always have a special place in my heart. So, yeah. And that is it for the Q2 hopefuls list. Let me know your thoughts down below. Obviously, some of these are, like, some books are going to be, you know, on my, I guess, mental TBR, so to speak. Like, something like A Storm of Swords is going to be on this TBR mentally. Other books are on this TBR mentally. I just don't want to add them, you know? Because then if I don't read them, I'm going to feel bad. And, you know, this is less pressure, I guess. I don't know. My brain works weirdly. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what is like on your, you know, closest to the future, you know, on your immediate TBR, what you're reading right now, all that good stuff. And if you finished watching this, comment. Let's do a bird emoji. Comment a bird emoji because it's really warm inside. I've cranked open the window a little bit. I'm in a short sleeve, which I feel like is a step up for, you know, the weather here. I live in Canada, if you don't know. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down below as usual. Like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time I post. And follow me on all my socials. I'm more-ish active on Instagram. And if you want to know what I'm reading and all that good stuff, head on over to Storycraft because I update that more than I do Goodreads. Although I do have to do that now that I think about it. I have to update my Goodreads. Oh my god, that's gonna take forever. I have to update like 11 books. 11 books. That's gonna be insane, actually. Anyways, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed my usual preamble, of course. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Do all that good stuff. And any important links will be down below and probably like in the pinned comment or something like that. So yeah, and share this video because that would mean a lot to me. Yeah, and I will see you. And if you have any further recommendations based on what I want to read or what I did read and enjoyed and all that stuff, please let me know because I'm open to taking more recommendations. You know, I'm kind of tired scrolling through like Goodreads for the billionth recommendation of like, I don't know, or something like that. Anyways, I will see you in the next one. Happy reading!